Hello friends, today we are going to learn how to cut and sew a gomesi. So I'm going to use the following measurements. So I'm making a gomesi for a person with bust 39 or 40. So you need to be having your gomesi material. You also need the polyester lining. You even need the stiff net. You also need something called modalizo, although I don't have it here. You even need the buttons, the scissors, the threads. So let's get started. So my gomesi is a double gomesi, like the material is called double gomesi. We have two types of gomesis, like we have two types of materials of the gomesi. So for a double gomesi, so the width of the double gomesi, the material of the double gomesi should be 60 inches. As you see, I'm measuring my material here. It should be 60 inches, the width of the material of the double gomesi. So for a single gomesi, the width is half of the double gomesi. So let me show you how a single gomesi looks like. As you can see, I'm folding my material to show you. So the width is like this, as you can see. So for me, I'm using a double gomesi. So now let's get started. So we are going to remove the piece for the cover and for the sleeves. So you're going to measure 33 inches. So I'm measuring my 33 inches. I'm using the standard way of cutting a gomesi. This is the standard way of cutting a gomesi. So I'm measuring 33 inches. So those are my 33 inches, as you can see, my 33 inches. So I'm going to cut. And the good thing with these gomesi is you can just tear, because the material is tearable. You can just tear. As you can see, I'm tearing out my material. But if it's not like this material, you should just cut. But the material I have can be tearable. As you can see, it looks fun. It looks fun tearing it out. So now these are my 33 inches that I've cut out on my main piece. So we are going to first keep the other piece. We are going to put it aside. So we are folding it. You should keep it safe. Keep it very well, because you are going to first cut out the sleeves and the cover. Then we shall deal with the main piece later. That's why I'm keeping it, because we are going to deal with it later after cutting and sewing the cover and the sleeves. So now we are going to get the piece of the 33 inches. Let me hope you have some pins with you, some tailor's pins. So as we are cutting the cover, for me, I prefer cutting all the pieces all together. That's why I'm folding. So I'm going to fold twice and make sure that the edges are equal. The edges must be equal. So as you can see, I've folded my material. I'm done folding it. All the edges are equal. I've folded 2 times. I folded twice. As you can see, I'm leveling my edges. Please make sure that your edges are equal. Then you pin. You put some tailor's pins. So I'm marking my startup line. Yeah, the startup line where I'm going to start from measuring. I think you can be able to see the chalk that I'm using. I'm using white. Let me hope you can see it. So you're going to measure 9 inches from the starting point. After sewing, I should make sure that it is 7 or 7.5. So which means I've made 7 plus 2 inches for allowance. So you square out to the other side. So my pin was disturbing me, so I had to change it to this other side. That's why I delayed. But you should square out, like drawing the line, a straight line to the other side to join to the other part of the material. So our cover measurements, the cover for our customer, they were 13 inches. So we are going to get 13 divide by 2. cover, divide by 2. As you can see, I like using the tape measure to divide. So I have 6.5. So measure the 6.5 where your starting line was. Then you mark where the 6.5 has ended. So that's my 6.5. Let me hope you can see. So here down where our 9 inches ended, we are going to get the 6.5, and we add half an inch, which is 7. So we are going to measure 7 inches on the downer line. As you can see, I'm measuring the 7 inches. I'm measuring them down here. The material of my gomesi is a little bit slippery. Yeah, that's why it's disturbing me. So I'm marking the 7 inches here down. There up, I got the cover divide by 2, which was 13 divided by 2, and I got 6.5. So here down, the 6.5, I added half an inch. So then you connect the edges, like connect the marked parts. You make a line. The line should be slanting. So as you can see, my line is slanting. So now we are coming to the neckline. So for the neckline, I'm going to give her 2.25 for the width. The width is 2.25. Then down, I'm going to give her 4 inches down. Then again, you measure the 4 inches here down on the line of the 2.25, because I want us to have clean work, like neat work. You also again measure the 2.25. Then you join to form something like a box, which will form my neckline. So we are dealing with the back cover, the cover at the back of the gomesi. So now I'm done with the back cover, and I'm going to cut it out. As you can see, I'm cutting out. Please make sure that you have pinned your work very well before cutting out, because if you don't pin, your work will be moving and it will look disorganized. It will look really ugly. It will look very bad. So now I'm done cutting. I'm done cutting the back cover. So this is how it looks like. Yeah. And now let me show you how it looks like when I've unfolded it. This is how your back cover should look like. They are 2 parts. As you can see, there are 2 parts. So we have to cut the lining of our cover, because our gomesi is too soft. So we should put a lining of the polyester lining, so that our cover can be a little bit stiff. We are to use the polyester lining material. But before cutting the lining of the cover, we should first cut out the sleeves first. Then the remaining material will be used for the lining the cover. So now let's make the front cover. So to make the front cover, you're going to get the back cover and you place it again on the folded part. The folded parts that we folded. So we are going to use the back cover to get the front cover. Please make sure that the folded parts are equal, are at the same point. They should be at the same point, the folded parts. Truth is, I don't know what cover is called in English. I know it as cover, but if you know what cover is in English, please you can leave the message in the comment section. So as you can see, I'm pinning my work because I want to have really nice work. If you don't have pins, you can get a thread and you put some running stitches. Running stitches, like you can put a thread into the hand needle, then you'll be like sewing. Yeah, those are running stitches. But as for me, I prefer pins because pins are more time saving. So after, we are going to trace out. So since I have pins, I can just cut out. No need for tracing out because my work is already firm. So you cut out. So now I'm done cutting it out. I'm going to remove the back part that I used to make the front part. So this was the back part that I used to make the front part. So these are my front pieces, as you can see them. They are also two sides, they are also two pieces. So after cutting them, we are going to unfold them. They look like back covers, but we are going to design them to look like front covers. Again, after unfolding, you should repin them so that they can be firm. Since our gomesi is a little bit slippery, we should be pinning all the time. So as you can see, I'm pinning my work. I'm pinning it. So now my work is firm. As you can see it, it's not moving. It's just in one place. It's not moving. So now I'm going to measure 8 inches from here. As you can, I'm measuring 8 inches from here. As you can see, please place a mark where the 8 inches are ending. So you extend your line, your neckline, to where the 8 inches are. Let me hope you've understood. I've measured 8 inches from the one part of the neckline, from one part of the neckline. Then I measured 8 inches. So where the 8 inches have ended, you're going to draw a straight line going downwards, like a straight line up to down. Please make it straight. Make sure the line is straight. As you can see, I'm trying to make mine straight. Please don't be tired of pinning. You shouldn't be tired of pinning your work. So I've made it straight, as you can see. So now we are going to cut out the excess parts. The excess part. Let me hope you're seeing the excess part. So it's now the unwanted part. We are cutting it out, as you're seeing, because it's no longer wanted on our cover. Please cut it out carefully, like very careful. As you can see, I'm cutting out mine. Yes. So as you can see how my front cover has come out. It really looks nice. It looks neat. Yep. So on the front cover, this is where the buttonholes are placed. So on that piece. So now we are going to cut the other piece where the buttons are put. So for the piece for the button, we are going to cut a piece which is like this side, only this side, minus the other sides. You're only going to trace out this straight part. There should also be two parts. So you pin that straight part on the material. Please don't forget to pin. So now we are going to cut out. We are going to cut out this piece as I told you. So now I'm done. I think you can see how it looks like. So now I'm going to remove the part that helped us to cut out the other pieces. Remember, the other side was straight and the other one is slanting. So after, we have to make a notch on the slanting side so as to help us while we are sewing, because if you're sewing, you should join the slanting side to the slanting side. So I've made my notch. It's a simple notch. So this is how our front part will look like. So our front part should look like this. As you can see, this is for the buttonholes, and the other for the button. So now we are going to cut the sleeves. Please keep your pieces very well, because those parts tend to get missing. So since my gomesi is disturbing, it's a little bit slippery. So for the sleeve, I'm going to teach using the lining. So you have to fold once. You fold like this, yeah? As you can see, you fold once. So if you fold like that, that is one sleeve. But I want to make all the two sleeves together. So I will fold once again. as you can see, because I want to make both sleeves at once. Yes, like I want to cut them out together. As you can see, I'm folding my material. So I'm done folding. Please don't forget to pin. Actually, pins are a must. If you're learning how to sew a gomesi, you should be having tailor's pins. They are a must. As you can see, I'm pinning my work. I want it to be firm, not to disturb me when I'm cutting. So I'm going to use a pen. So for the sleeve, we start from the downer part going upwards. So I'm going to start with marking the hem. The hem is 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. As you can see, I'm marking 1.5. I'm squaring out. I'm using the standard method of the sleeve. So I'm joining my parts together. I'm sorry for using a pen, but it's what I had to use. So I'm done with the hem. Yep. So from where the 1.5 have ended, I'm going to measure 21 inches. 21 inches going upwards, as you can see from here. So I'm measuring 21 inches. The tape measure should be down where the 1.5 inches ended. So let's measure the 21. So these are my 21 inches. Let me mark there. Again, you square out the 21 inches. Again, you square out like drawing a line connecting the parts. As you can see, I've squared out my line. So we are going to go back down where the hemline ended and we measure 9.5 inches. So again, we square out the 1.5 inches. As you can see, I'm squaring out. Then you join the pieces, like you join the points, yes, squaring. So on the line of the 9.5, we are going to measure 11 inches. Then after I measure 6 inches, I think you can see. So these are 6 inches. 6 inches, as you can see. So I'm going to square up the line of the 6 inches. As you can see, I'm squaring up the line of the 6 inches. So you draw a line to connect to the line that ended on the 21 inches. As you can see, let me hope you're understanding this. So I've squared upwards. So for the sleeve width, I'm using 9. As I told you, I'm dealing with the standard way of cutting the gomesi. So then I'll draw a slanting line joining from where the 9 have ended of the sleeve width to where the 11 inches ended. As you can see, I'm joining the points. So now we are going to shape up. So I'm marking 2.5 inches. Then coming downwards, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches. We are up where the 21 inches ended. That's where we are making this curve. So it's 2.5 up by 1 inch down. So after that, we are going to make a slight curve, as you can see, from the corner up to where the 1 inch ended downwards. So like that. So now we are going to get down where our 6 inches ended downwards on this middle line. So we are going to mark 2.5 inches upward. As you can see, I'm marking 2.5 inches upward. Then we are going to mark 2 inches outwards, going the other side, 2 inches outward. So then you shape the curve. As you can see, I'm shaping mine. Shape it connecting to the points where the 2.5 inches are, up to where the 2 inches are on the midline. I think you can see I'm connecting my curve. So I'm now done with my sleeve. I think you can see how my curve looks like. It's really nice. So now I'm going to cut it out. As you can see, we should cut 2 sleeves. There should be 2 sleeves. So now you cut them out. We shall meet in the next part. Don't forget to subscribe.